Welcome to the Yankified podcast. I ain't taking any more shit. This dumpster fire needs absolutely set alight, and I'm going to do it. Bet on it. Bunch of bums. Here's some bums for you. Warren, 6 earned runs in 4 innings. Bum! Weaver, first recorded out in the postseason tonight. Bum! 15 strikeouts today. Bums! Volpe, 0 for 4. 1 for 4 yesterday. Bum! Blackburn, bum! Aaron Boone, career record in the postseason, 23-25. Bum! Aaron Judge, captain, bum! 220 batting average in the postseason. 200 batting average with runners in scoring position in the postseason. Choking bum! What a bunch of bums. Brian Cashman, your obsession with Aaron Boone and your shitty-ass process. Bum! Hal Steinbrenner. Bum! All of them. Mike Fishman. Bum! They're all bums. Not having it anymore. Not having it anymore. No anymore wasting any more energy with this bullshit team. Getting lit up like a fucking bonfire in the postseason, embarrassing themselves against Toronto. Absolutely embarrassing themselves. What an embarrassment. I turned the game off. After 12-2, I turned it off. I didn't watch it. I don't care. Oh, they scored some late runs? Fuck. Couldn't give a flying fuck. I turned it. What kind of a postseason is it when the first 2 games of this series, I've turned it off midway through because they're just a bunch of bums? How many more years am I going to have to listen to Aaron fucking Boone and his bullshit? How many more years? How many more years do I have to listen to it? How many more years do I have to listen to his incessant rambling of shit? How many more years do I have to sit watching him chew bubbles all fucking game long while his team implodes in front of him? How many more years do I have to watch Aaron Boone fuck up in the postseason? How many more years do I have to watch him fumble around in the outfield in the postseason, the biggest games? How many more years do I have to put up with this shit? How many more years do I have to put up with this shit? I can't do it anymore with this. I put up with it 2018 when Aaron Boone fucked it up. 2019 when Boone fucked it up. 2020, COVID season, Boone fucked it up as well. 2022, ALCS, got swept by the Astros, fucked that up. World Series last year, fucked that up. DS this year, fucked that up. How many more years do I have to do this? With this bullshit manager, with this franchise that has completely forgotten what it takes to win. It's completely forgotten what it means to win. I blew a little bit of smoke up their ass because they beat the Red Sox, but it looks like they partied far too fucking hard from the looks of things because they have not shown up in this series. And you know what? They're on their way to Cancun. Whether it's game 3 or whether it's game 4 or whether it's game 5, it doesn't fucking matter. They're going to Cancun. They are not beating the Blue Jays. Fucking wrap it up. They are not coming back. This team is cooked. Maybe they'll win 1 or 2 in the Bronx, but they're going to get their asses fucking handed to them back in Toronto regardless. Guess who's a real star on show? Vlad Guerrero. That's a real star. Well, once again, Aaron Judge, while all his little fanboys, all the little fangirls, Aaron, MVP. Fuck off. Fucking postseason choker. I don't want to hear any more about it. I don't care what he does in the regular season. Postseason, bum. Look at this dude. 99. Oh, 99. Fuck out of here. You know what he needs to do on his way to Cancun? He needs to go and visit a real captain, Derek Jeter, and kiss his 5 rings. because that's as close as he's ever going to get to one. Jared Williams, Cal Raleigh is a real MVP. Absolutely. I hereby change my vote to Cal Raleigh for MVP. I don't want Aaron Judge to get it. He doesn't deserve it. Who else am I going to roast? I'm going to roast people, motherfuckers. I'm ready to roast. Will Warren, what a bum. Chase Blackburn, what a bum. To be fair, the whole lineup's been just putrid. Apart from Cody Bellinger hit a nice couple of ribbies. Big G's the only guy that shows up in the postseason. He's not had a good postseason this year, but I'm giving him a break. Desperately disappointed. Really disappointed in Ben Rice. He's not showing up in this series, but I'm going to give him a break. Very disappointed in Trent Grisham. I don't want him back. He can go test free agency. That was fun for the regular season. I don't care. Postseason is what matters. How about that performance from Fried? I'm giving Fried a break because he was so good against Boston. He can't be perfect all the time, but he was a bum tonight, I'll tell you that. But I'm giving him a break. There's certain people that do deserve breaks, and Max Fried's one of them for sure. So is Big G. These guys deserve a break. Going to give a break to Jazz Chisholm because he was good last series. But the rest of them, I ain't getting any break. Not at all. Not at all. I'm just sick of this. Just the standards of this franchise has fallen apart because they just get far too freaking excited about very, very small steps that are positive. That's what they do. They get far too excited. They have conga lines. They have fucking champagne parties. They have the fucking they party it like nothing on earth just to make the postseason, just to make a wild card series. I mean, they should celebrate, but just blow it all up, party like fuck, that's ridiculous. Because in 24 hours, you're facing a much better team with much better standards, with a much better offense, and a team that genuinely hates you in the Blue Jays, and they're coming for your asses, and the Yankees weren't ready. They weren't ready. They didn't show up. They didn't show up yesterday. They did not show up yesterday at all. Today, didn't show up until it was 13-2. Absolutely. Blaze, spot on. Pappy on the Yankees being down 2-0. They can bring Jesus back and they're still going to Cancun. It's over. It's a wrap. Exactly. You know, the Yankees should retweet Juan Soto's Cancun tweet because that's where they're going. Maybe they can party it up with Juan Soto in 48 hours. That's what they can do. I'm not going to waste any more energy on this frickin' franchise this year. Big Pappy is absolutely right. It is absolutely cooked. It is over. It is a wrap. I mean, it's not impossible to come back from 2-0 down, but for these bums, absolutely it is. Now, I saw the Yankees come back against the A's when Derek Jeter did that incredible flip play. They came back from 2-0 down, made an amazing comeback, one of the great comebacks. But that's because they were a good team back then. They knew what it took to win. They had standards. This team, just a bunch of regular season dudes that think that they're better than they are. Once they face a good team, they collapse. Once they face a good team, they soil themselves. That's the truth. The first good team that they faced in this postseason, they have soiled themselves and given up back-to-back football scores. They gave up a football score yesterday and a football score today. And I'm supposed to sit here waving fucking pom-poms? Go Yankees? Fuck that. 27 championships. You know what? That should be written in their dugouts. That should be written in their locker rooms. 27 championships. Because they need to remember. They need to remember what it takes. They need to know what it takes, but they don't know it. Because Aaron Boone's not a winner. He doesn't know how to win. He was a career loser as a player. Hit one meaningless home run. And we're repaying that and just through hell ever since. He doesn't know how to win. All he knows is preach togetherness. Oh, we're together. Yes, let's go. We're together. I love this team. We're so together. Fuck off. Fucking moron. They don't know how to win. Let's go. Jets mess in the chat. Share this out, guys. If you guys know anyone who is as pissed as me, get them on this chat. Because I'm ready to cook some dudes right now. I'm cooking some. Aaron Boone, you're getting cooked on a skillet, my friend. You're getting cooked on a skillet. And even though Brian Cashman might think that you're some God's gift to management, you're not. You are not. Yankee fans know it. The rest of baseball knows it. Brian Cashman doesn't. And Hal Steinbrenner doesn't. But that doesn't mean anything. They're just trying to protect their own jobs. But you are not good at yours, brother. You are fucking useless. Pathetic. To allow your team to come out there in a DS and give up football scores back to back. Yeah. Fuck it. Bomb manager. But this team doesn't know how to win. Who's the winner? Who's the winner in this? Who's the winner in this team? Who? Who's won? Who's won anything? Max Fried. Who's won anything? Cody Bellinger. Who's won anything? Aaron Judge? Did he fuck? He's won nothing. Won some MVPs. Good for him. How about do something in the postseason with your Mendoza line batting average in the postseason? And you're getting a captaincy for that? That just describes how the standards have completely fallen apart. Aaron Judge missed playing a ball in the outfield in the postseason today, giving up an error, dropping a ball in the World Series. How many more years am I supposed to just be like, oh, it's okay? He was great in the regular season. I'm tired of it. There's not enough winners. There's not enough winners, and it just shines through because they lack leadership. Volpe's a little baby. They just lack leadership. I want to burn my Aaron Judge jersey for some reason. Dude, that's going in the closet and it ain't coming back out. What kind of captain is Judge? A shitty one. No, but look, obviously all swearing aside and all my anger aside, here's what I view as a captain. Someone who leads from the front. That's what I view as a captain. I don't know what you guys in the chat view as a captain, but my captain, if I was to think about a captain, is someone that leads from the front. Someone that leads from the front, especially when the chips are down. When the chips are down, you look to your leader. That's what you look for. When the chips are down, you look for your leader to grab this team. Grab their whichever team you root for, whatever sport you root for, doesn't matter. When the chips are down, you look for your captain to grab the team by the scruff of the neck going, we're not losing today, guys. I've got you because I am a fucking captain. That's a captain for me. I look at the teams that I root for. I root for the Knicks. Jalen Brunson. That's someone that grabs his team by the scruff of the neck and goes, don't worry, I got you. That's a captain. What did Jalen Brunson do against Detroit when it looks like the Knicks were about to go to lose to Detroit? Jalen Brunson sends his defender to fucking Egypt and then knocks down the game-winning three. That's a fucking winner. That's someone that steps up in the postseason. That's someone that steps up, grabs his team by the scruff of the neck going, I'm not going to lose today, guys. That doesn't happen in my watch. That's a captain. Eli Manning in the Super Bowl. Down in the fourth quarter. Doesn't matter. I'm carrying you guys to the end zone, and we're going to win a fucking Super Bowl. That's a captain. Michael Strahan, I'm going to stomp you guys out. And he stomped them out. That's a captain. What does Aaron Judge do? Fucking drops the ball in the World Series, lets the ball go right through his fucking legs in the DS. Struck out multiple times, struck out with the bases loaded and nobody out yesterday on a pitch in the ground. That's what Aaron Judge does in the postseason. That's not a captain. There are levels. I'll tell you who's a real captain. I don't even know if he is the fucking captain of Toronto, but fucking Vlad Guerrero, man. Grand slam today. Hitting a big home run yesterday. Diving plays at first base. He's someone that's a winner. And yeah, you can talk to me about his MVPs. That's great. And his home run records. That's great. And there was a reason why I came here on that podcast and said, I don't really care that he's tied fucking whatever, whoever he fucking, I don't care anymore. Whatever his home run records is, I don't care. Because he does nothing in the postseason. Nothing. Aaron Judge needs everybody else in the postseason. Real leaders don't need your teammates to carry them. That's not what a leader does. Look at Derek Jeter. Now that is a captain. Look at Don Mattingly. That's a captain. He's someone that leads by example. Leads from the front. When the chips are down, they come through. That's a captain. Big G, we don't get swept in Yankee Stadium. We don't get swept against the Red Sox. That's more of a captain than Aaron Judge. And I stand by it. That's why I can't get all in on this number 99. That's why I'll never, in my life, and I swear to God, I will never buy a 99 burger or any stupid shit the Yankee Stadium tries to sell. Thurman Munson was a captain. That was a real captain. Yogi, that was a captain. These guys stepped up in the postseason. So I don't get too excited about the regular season because I've seen this before. Yeah, the Yankees had a good regular season. Good for them. I'm happy for them. But it doesn't mean anything if you get blown out back-to-back in the postseason. It doesn't count. I don't care. You won 94 games and got to the wild card. You still lost the Blue Jays, and you've given up back-to-back football scores against them. Stevie B in the chat. Hey, Donald, this isn't how we played against the Red Sox. This is what I call no focus. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? That's Aaron Boone, who couldn't manage a fucking dollar store. That's Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone had his team lose focus after that Red Sox series. That Red Sox series should have been a motivator. What should have happened after the Red Sox series is, sure, okay, fucking spray some champagne, fine. I don't really care about that. But to party, because clearly there was some partying going on. That should have been shut down instantly. You could spray some champagne for about 5 minutes and then you get down to business. The way you should be doing it is you should be celebrating hard after the CS. Hard into the World after you win a World Series. That's when you party. To lose your freaking minds just because you beat the Red Sox, that just shows how much the Yankees have dropped, because Yankees used to beat the piss out of the Red Sox. All that series should have done should have been a motivator for these guys to show them what they're capable of. And that's the thing. They are capable of so much better. They are capable of so much better. That's why I'm so mad. If this team was this awful, I wouldn't care as much. But this team has talent, but they don't prepare. And they don't play to that level. You cannot tell me that the Blue Jays are back-to-back football scores better than the Yankees. That should not happen. What is the Yankees' record in the Rogers Center this year? They're like 1-8. Fuck that. Celebrate clinching the division, not the frickin' wild card. Well said, John the Beagle Dad. 1-8, Jared. 1-8 in the Rogers Center. Hail fucking Canada. Jesus. Maybe it's 1-9. Who fucking knows? But it's bad, I'll tell you that. Willie Randolph would never accept the standards that seem to be so willingly accepted in Yankee Stadium right now. Because I know that Brian Cashman's sitting there going, that's okay, because whether we lose on Tuesday or Wednesday, I will just come out and say we had a hell of a run at it. Really proud of them. Did great against the Red Sox. Came up a little bit short against Toronto. It happens. Great year. Well done, Aaron Boone. It's a crapshoot. Aaron Boone, how would you like a new 2-year deal? Fucking bums. No standards. No standards anymore. The first thing they need to do, the very first thing they need to do once they head to Cancun is fire Aaron Boone. That's the first thing they should do. Fire Aaron Boone. As soon as we go to Cancun. As soon as those players go to Cancun, fire Aaron Boone. I don't want Aaron Boone fucking partying it up in Cancun. Fire him before he makes the fucking airplane. Fuck this. I gave Aaron Judge one more year after that disaster last year. I gave him one more year. I said, if he doesn't show up in the postseason this year, then I'm done. And he's not showing up. Boone's not getting fired. He beat the Red Sox. I was giving him exactly. He will. He'll get another fucking extension because that's the lack of standards. But there's one thing is a fact, is this Yankee team had no focus going into Toronto. It's like they already celebrated their World Series. Their World Series was making it to the DS. That was their World Series. That just shows how much the standards have dropped. Self-satisfied. That's what this organization is. Incredibly self-satisfied. They puff up their chests. We are the best. We are the greatest. And they will overlook this minor, embarrassment. Go look in the chat. Fortunately, I don't think change will happen. They just gave Boone an extent. See, my stomach's already going. I can't even giving Aaron Boone an extension. Absurd. And if they don't fire him after the disaster called Game 5 of the World Series, they never would. Exactly. Last year was a disaster. But they were far too self-satisfied. Last year was a disaster. They lost to the World Series, and they didn't even get beaten by the Dodgers' best. The Dodgers just needed to show up and allowed the Yankees to fuck themselves up. That should have been a fucking sign right there that their manager ain't it. But no, gave him an extension. And what happens this year? They melted down so spectacularly in the summer that it made it impossible to win the division this year. Even when they did make an absurdly good comeback, they still lost the division because of the way that Aaron Boone managed them in the summer. They were the worst team in baseball over the summer. You can't make that up. And then it came back, they reared their ugly heads again in Toronto. The Yankees can't win at Rogers Center anymore. Dude, let's just list the places they can't win anymore. There's a lot of them. Not just the Rogers Center. And I don't want to hear Aaron. I can picture it right now. Aaron Boone is going to say, "Oh, we really just, we're just so great, but we just struggle in the Rogers Center for whatever reason." I can see him saying that, and I'm going to put my fist through the fucking TV when he says it. Michael K said it. Boone does what they tell him analytically, but then you have Andy Martino say that's the opposite, and Boone, does his own thing. Right. Bullshit. He's a puppet. Everybody knows it. And the Yankees are incredibly defensive about it because everybody knows it. Just Minks in the chat. Salute. Michael K loves Boone. Yeah, they're best buddies. That's so sweet. I hope they go to the Hamptons together and fucking sum it up. Sun it up. Have a great time in the Hamptons. But I don't want to fucking see Aaron Boone's fucking face doing another fucking postseason next year. I don't want to do it. Can't do it anymore. How many more years do I have to listen to that imbecile? Right, I want you guys to hit the like button. If you're as mad as me, if you're pissed as me, and if you want the Yankees to make some changes, hit the like button. That's all I ask. I need something to make my day, because this day sucks. Right, guys in the chat. I'm just very disappointed. That's all. I'm disgusted. I am disgusted. I'm actually not surprised because this is exactly what I was expecting from the Yankees, but I'm disgusted because that's how much the standards have dropped. That's how much the standards have dropped. For those that are of the younger generation that didn't see the glory years, trust me, this is not normal for the Yankees. This is not normal, and this is not good. This is far from good. This is far from acceptable. This is not acceptable. Do not allow Brian Cashman to gaslight you in the offseason to tell you that this past year was acceptable. It is not. It is not. It might be acceptable for teams like the Mets. It might be acceptable for teams like, mediocre teams. But this logo is far from mediocre. But unfortunately, this logo is living off past glories big time. That's the problem. This logo is slowly morphing into the Steelers logo and the Cowboys logo of past glories. Living off past glories. And they don't know how to get back to it. They are clueless as to how to get back. They're clueless how to claw themselves back to their previous glories. They're completely lost. Healing Man's Hearts, good to see you in the chat. The New York Yankees are losing their shine. Dude, the shine's lost. I think their shine was gone last year. Lucas says here, Jeter on the Yankees. Please, God, let Derek Jeter come back to the Yankees. Please. The entire team needs to step up. You cannot sit here and rely on just one individual to win a playoff series and get you to the World Series and win a championship. Facts. But I don't know who that individual is. If that's Aaron Judge, then that's not the guy you want to rely on because he has never shown up in the postseason. Look, is comparing the Yankees to 2010's OKC Thunder, 2010's Steelers, 2010's Rockets. Well, the best comparison is James Harden. Aaron Judge and James Harden are the same person. Remove the strip clubs that James Harden freaking partakes in, and Aaron Judge and James Harden are the same person. Both generational in the regular season. Generational in the regular season. Breaking records left, right, center, every record, every MVP, everything. Postseason. That's what they are. Jared, I can't defend Judge anymore. Exactly. I can't. Dude, when did you ever defend Boone? I don't want anybody to defend Boone. If there's anyone in this chat who defends Boone, please tell me so I can cook you. Smooth Will in my lifetime. 77, 78, 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2009 World Series. Well, Smooth Will knows. Smooth Will knows what it takes. So I promise you, Smooth Will knows what it takes to watch and know what it takes to build a Yankee organization that can win in the playoffs. This ain't it. John the Beagle Dad knows. Obviously, I never saw the 70s ones, and I was only like 10 or 11 in 1996. But I know what it takes. And this team ain't it. This manager ain't it. This captain ain't it. And that's another problem with Aaron Boone, Egyptian magician. Boone's doing what he's told. You know what? I find that spineless. Have some stones. Have some self-respect. Aaron Boone does not have that. Not as a manager. Maybe he does in his normal life outside of baseball, but as a baseball manager, he has none of that. Because he allows himself to be a puppet. I would like to think that everyone in this chat, me included, if we were in that spot, we would never, ever allow to be made a puppet. Because you're just making a fool of yourself. You're just being a puppet to some other idiot who's going to make you look like an idiot, following up on some stupid-ass ideas. Some stupid-ass ideas like taking Max Fried out on 100 pitches against Boston and going into Luke Weaver. Some idiot that tells you that you should drop Jazz Chisholm for no reason. Those kind of idiots. I think there's other ways you can feed your family within baseball without being made a fool of by the Yankees. Because Aaron Boone's making a fool of himself. He really is. He has no spine. He has allowed perfectly good coaches get fired purely because he's the one that's incompetent at his job. It's just beyond now. It's beyond a joke. You have to stand up for something, Aaron. If you are truly the manager that you think you are, then you need to start acting like one. You need to start ripping into these fucks. And you need to bite back against your shitty ass front office and analytics team. If it costs you your job, oh well, sucks to be you. At least you got like, how much money have you gotten from the Yankees since 2018? You'll be fine. Donald, it's not Boone's decision. It's analytics with Fishman. Fishman's a bum too. But that's my point. If Aaron Boone had any gumption, any stones, any self-respect, he'd fight back on Mike fucking Fishman fuckface. If he had any self-respect. But he doesn't, so he allows himself to be a puppet, and he makes a fool of himself on the national stage. So tell me what's better or what's worse. Salute. Yeah, you savage. You savage got the savages in the box, made them look like fucking idiots. Only thing I could say is if they win 2 games at home, we might have. No. No. I know we should all have hope, but no. What are they? 1-8, 1-9 in the Rogers Center. We still have one more game in the Rogers Center if they do come back. We are not winning 3 straight. Not at all. Because, I mean, it's not impossible. I've seen it happen. I saw it in 2001. I've seen the Yankees come back from that deficit. I've seen it right through the dynasty. I've seen them come back from deficits. But the thing is, they had winners. They had a winner at catcher in Posada. They had a winner at shortstop in Jeter. They had winners everywhere. Winners in right field, winner in center field. They had winners everywhere. They had winners right through their rotation, winners right through their bullpen. They had a winner as a manager, winner as a fucking bench coach, winners in fucking at third base coach. They had fucking Willie Randolph as a fucking coach. Don Zimmer, Joe Torre, those are winners. Winners every fucking where. They knew what it takes to win. There are no winners in this team. There's a couple of them. Max Fried would be one, but he did not show up today. But I'm still giving him a break. I would count G as one, but he's not one prior to the Yankees. But at least he's a captain. An unnamed one. Our captain's not a winner. Not at all. Aaron Judge is Paul George and James Harden. That's what they are. Playoff nothings. We could sweep them at home, but we're still gonna lose at the Rogers Center, so it doesn't fucking matter. Personally, I think they'll probably win game 3. And I think they'll probably lose in game 4. But either way, they're going to Cancun. Wrap it up. Donald, you never know the narrative as the Jays choke. How do we not know they will choke again? Who are they facing? They're facing the Yankees. What did they do in the World Series last year? What did the Yankees do when they were up, 5-0 against Toronto? No, Toronto, the Dodgers. Choked. That's who the Yankees are under Aaron Boone. That's who they are. There's no winners. They haven't invested enough in winners. They don't know what it takes. And it starts at management. Brian Cashman has won plenty of times, so I have no idea why he's just decided to give up on the secret elixir of winning, and it would start with a good manager, which he doesn't fucking have. I'm just being realistic. It's not happening. If the Yankees played the Blue Jays tough in these first two games, then I would say, you know what? Let's see. The Yankees didn't show up. Nothing. They showed up when they were down 13-2. That's when they decided to show up. That's not a team. But here's why Aaron Boone needs to be fired, because you can't really look at this roster and say it's a terrible roster. I mean, the pitching staff looks set next year, regardless. The bullpen has imploded, but they have a good ass closer. And the lineup, I mean, there's not much you can really do with that lineup. I mean, there's not too many spots open next year that you can rebuild from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, next year the only positions that are up in the air would be Cody Bellinger, but I assume he's being brought back. Trent Grisham, who knows? I expect him to test free agency. I don't expect him to come back, so maybe center field. But then you got Spencer Jones that can maybe step up in that spot. You maybe got Dominguez that can step up in that spot. Catcher, they're going to be all in on Austin Wells. Ben Rice, I assume, is going to be their first baseman. McMahon, they've taken on 3 years of his contract, so I highly doubt he's going anywhere. Anthony Volpe, they've embarrassed themselves in order to cover this kid, so he's obviously going to be the shortstop next year. Jazz Chisholm's not going anywhere, obviously. Stanton's your DH, and Aaron Judge, he is who he is. Regular season juggernaut, postseason bomb. So there's not really any spot open to rebuild this team. So the only real area that you have to attack is manager. Because something has to change. You cannot roll this back. After we lose to the Blue Jays, after the Yankees go to Cancun at some point on Wednesday, you can't then sell to your fan base going, we're rolling it back next year. You can't. You cannot do it. You cannot sell that to a fan base. You cannot do it. Hey, guys, we gave up, 23 runs in 2 games against the Blue Jays, but we're great. Don't know why you guys are mad. We're fantastic. Oh, we didn't even win the division? Oh, doesn't matter. We're fantastic. We're rolling it back next year. If they try and sell that, good luck. They have to make a change. The lineup, there's not too many spots open to make a change. Maybe first base. That's what I would do. I would certainly invest in a first baseman. I would have Ben Rice and Austin Wells fight it out at catcher. But I think the Yankees will cheap out there, to be honest, because that's what we do under Hal Steinbrenner. But the lineup still, even though I think this team are a bunch of bums, this lineup was fantastic all regular season. I'm not going to overlook that. It was one of the best one of the best lineups in the league. So there's not going to be too many changes that I would expect from this lineup. And it'd be hard to have an argument that there should be. And the pitching rotation's set next year. You'll have Garrett Cole back. You got Schlittler, who's a beast. You got Max Fried's a beast. You got Rodon, who's a beast. You got Luis Gil, who, I'm completely behind, and I think he's a good pitcher. So you got a good rotation next year. Bullpen needs some work, but you've got a hell of a closer there. So it's not like this roster is awful. So if the roster isn't awful, and you have a really good lineup, and you have a very good rotation, what is the constant denominator every single year? I'm going to leave that to you guys in the chat. What is the one constant of all the changes that the Yankees have made to their lineups, all the changes that they made to their rotations and their bullpens over the years since 2018? What is the one constant? And all the losing, every postseason, losing in the postseason. Who is the one constant? The one constant. I'm going to give you guys two guesses. What is the one common denominator to the Yankees losing in the postseason? I'm giving you guys two guesses. Come on, it's pretty easy. I don't think you need the fucking Jeopardy music for this one. Bingo! Healing's Man Hearts wins. Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone is still the manager. That is the common denominator. That is the one common denominator. He has to go. He has to. You can't roll this back next year with the same coaching staff. That's absurd. It's the one denominator. He is below 500. He's 23-25 as a manager in the postseason. That is not the Yankee way. That is not the Yankee way. And it is okay to make changes if you fail in the postseason. Just look what the Knicks did. They fired Tom Thibodeau, even though they made it all the way to a conference finals. You can change things up if you want. And the Yankees should, because this can't keep going on. The Yankees are losing track of who they are. I think they are so far from who they are. They have no idea where they are right now. They have completely forgotten what it takes to win championships. And they need to get a hold of this in the offseason. Egyptian Magician, the players love Boone. That's a problem. And then people will say, what do you mean that's a problem? It is a problem. Because there is a difference between loving someone and respecting the hell out of them. I would love a manager that would blow smoke up my ass all the time. Rain or shine. Fucking batting 1,000 or batting 100. I would love a manager to do that. Oh, I made 66 errors this year? Oh, you're still the best. I love you. How great a manager would that be? No wonder Anthony Volpe loves Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone called him elite. No wonder Anthony Volpe loves Aaron Boone. His manager called him elite. Yeah, so no wonder the players love Boone. They love Bubbles. Bubbles blow smoke up their asses. No wonder they love it. Bubbles allows them to fucking have champagne parties and conga lines just to make it through a fucking playoff series. I would love that. This sounds like a hell of a good time. There is a difference between loving and respecting. And I would much prefer to respect the fuck out of a manager. They need to be feared. Even though Brian Cashman doesn't believe it, Brian Cashman is wrong. Now, when I say feared, I don't need him to be the Hulk. I don't need him to be fucking beating people up and and trashing locker rooms and all that stuff. But there needs to be a very firm hold on that locker room that if you step out of line, you will know all the fuck about it. And I guarantee that kind of shit that we just watched would happen. It's too much of a fucking free-for-all. It's too much. It's too much of a fucking... It's just too much of a fucking kind, fucking lovey-dovey, Barney the dinosaur shit. It's too much. It's just too much. It's soft. This team is soft. The captain's soft. The manager's soft. They take on the manager's personality. You know how dogs take on the personality of their owners? The Yankees have taken the personality of their manager. Fucking soft. That's what they are. They're soft. $12 likes. There's only 12. What the fuck are you guys? Hit the like button. Hit the like button, damn it. Come on, guys. Hit the like button. If there's anything else, I know there's hype buttons. I don't know. Sometimes the hype button shows up on our pods. If not, understand. But if there is, hit the hype button. Let's try and hit some subs, hit some likes. Because, I mean, you guys are sick of this. I'm sick of this. Something needs to change. Got Uncle Tats in the chat. Uncle Tats, man, if you want to hop on and give us your thoughts, you must be angry, man. Donald, why have we been able to survive as a podcast for 5 years? Accountability. You, Rob, and myself can call each other out and be better for it. What a fucking concept. Amen. And we're all fucking great friends, and we all respect the hell out of each other. Healing Man's Hearts wants jump on Uncle Tats. Come on, jump on Uncle Tats. If you need the link, let me know. But I think you just need to hop on Streamliner. Hop on, even for a minute. I want my man Uncle T to give us some thoughts. Let's all root for Uncle T to come on before the end of the show. But Uncle Tats is spot on. It doesn't need to be a fucking holiday all the time. And that's what Aaron Boone treats this thing as. A fucking holiday. It needs to stop. It's been going on since 2018. It has to stop. Uncle Tats. Yeah, we're rooting for Uncle Tats here. Like they're tired of me screaming against the microphone. Like they probably need someone else to help me out here. But seriously, things have to change. And this is a good team. It's a good lineup. It's a good rotation. There's a lot of good pieces here. But the one constant denominator, one common denominator here to the struggles is Aaron Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles. Mr. Togetherness. That is the common denominator. And that's, thank you, Heelan. That's the common denominator here. They cannot sell to us to roll it back next year. If they won 100 games and lost in the DS, you'd have a better chance of selling me on rolling it back. But you didn't. You made a wild card, good. Now you're getting your asses fucking set on fire in Toronto. You can't sell to me that the whole thing should be brought back. That's ridiculous. There has to be some kind of standards. There has to be some accountability. There has to be some kind of change. Something. There has to be something to be done here. And I don't want some bullshit little sidestep like, oh, we're going to bring in a new bench coach. Oh, we're going to bring in a new hitting coach. All right, Uncle Tats, let me get to my truck so I don't wake Aunt Tats up. Aunt Tats is already in bed? It's only 9:20. Damn, the Yankees must have really pissed her off. She's gone to bed at 9 o'clock. Right, Uncle Tats is getting in his truck. You know what that means. It's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. So everybody stick around for when Uncle Tats gets fired up on his truck. I assume that he's going to let rip. But don't forget, guys. Don't forget, we also have tomorrow's show as well with Robinho. So the three amigos, I'm sure we will all tear into the Yankees again tomorrow. But no, I can't let this lie. Back-to-back football scores on Football Sunday. Jesus Christ. What changes would you guys make in the offseason? That's my take is they should look at first base and they should get a new manager. That's my take. Let Grisham test free agency and use that money to go and get me a first baseman. Someone that plays good defense, hits for a little bit of average, and hits for power. That's what I would do. That's the only change I would really make in the lineup. Rotation set. Bullpen, that needs to be completely reworked. Get Weaver to fuck. But the big change I would make is manager. That's what I would change. I would change the fucking manager. First baseman, new manager. Ben Rice can split time with Austin Wells. Give him a day or two at DH a week because you know Stanton can't play every single day anyway. That's what I would do with Ben Rice. He's already proven he can be a very solid catcher. Austin Wells has proven he can't be an everyday catcher, so I think that's pretty obvious. Ben Rice can still play a little bit of first base. You're still going to get plenty of playing time for Ben Rice. But that's my only change, and I would sure as fuck get a new manager. Sure as fuck. And they also need to figure out what the hell they're doing with Dominguez. Who says I'm done with Rice? Absolutely not. In my book, he would still play as kind of a utility player where he plays 2 or 3 times a week. Say over a 7-game span, I would have him catch like 2 or 3 times. I would have him DH once, and then fill in at first base once. So he's still going to play like 4 or 5 times a week. I wouldn't say he's good enough defensively to play one set position, though. So I don't think he's a good enough first baseman to play first base every day. That's why I would recommend making a change at first. That's what I would do. I want a new first baseman. I honestly don't know how to fix the Yankees, Donald. This franchise is a mess. Well, it starts from leadership, man. Healing Men's, that's where it starts. That's where it starts. It starts with leadership. The leadership is a mess. New manager. Bring me a new manager. But I can see that's not going to happen because what Hal Steinbrenner is going to do is going to, because he obviously loves Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman's had a very good year. Then they're just going to be like, oh well, let's just have Boone run in concurrence with Brian Cashman, and then we'll maybe look at a change in 2027. No, make a fucking change now. And there is Uncle T, my man.
Hey,
Miss you.
the people asked for it. I had to make an appearance.
Exactly. The people asked for it. Let it rip, Uncle T. What did you fucking see?
Right. You know what? You know when you get to that point where you're so pissed off you can't yell. Any
Right,
parent knows that boiling point. Like that's where I'm at. I'm like, I can't even get mad. It's almost comical at this point that we believed in this team.
right.
You know, there's still 3 games to go. It's sports. You know, still anything can happen. But are we really feeling any sort of optimism? There was a different level of hope after the game one loss to the Red Sox,
Mm-hmm.
where now it's like, okay, where I now have zero faith is Aaron Judge's bases loaded strikeout. If there was ever a moment for this team to be like, you know what, don't fuck with us, that was it. And he squandered it.
He did.
He squandered it. And we always keep saying, don't waste his prime years. He's wasting it himself.
Thank you.
He's wasting it
Oh,
himself. You know, and I know it's been said. It's been said a lot. You know, and but no, it's serious. It's no joke. It's absolutely pathetic. You know, we keep talking about with the captaincy and Donald. You know, you and I were ones. You know, we disagreed on that. You know, and I thought he was taking more of a Jeter-esque approach where he always stayed calm and collected. But he's not bringing these guys up.
no.
He's not elevating his club. You know, when I put in the chat earlier about Thurman Munson, I wasn't around for Thurman Munson,
No.
right? I
Me
was
neither.
around Winfield, Mattingly, that era.
Right, right, right.
And you think back to when we lost Munson and the way that team, through all that pain, won for him. You know, and they still took the field the next day. That's how you lead as a captain. Even though he was gone, they
Amen.
still played. They still gave it all for him. That's how you're. That's when you're a leader on a team. Judge is not elevating anybody. If anything, it would be Stanton. Stanton seems to be the only one that's really giving a shit.
Yeah.
It's really a shame. And Jonathan, I pushed back on you a few times. You know, you kept saying it. He was one of the first to repeatedly say this team cannot win with Aaron Boone. For 5 years, he's been with us. Jonathan, you're right. Aaron Boone is not going to get this team a win. He doesn't have the capability.
No.
I almost wish we lost that. I wish almost wish we lost in 2003, and he never hit that home run because otherwise he would just be a footnote. He would just be an at bat with a missed opportunity against the knuckleballer. You know, Aaron Bone's a bum, and you're right. He is the whole team. They're all bums. That's why I was like, you know what? I let me let the dog out in the yard. I got to hear this. I got to hear this open.
I'm
And
pretty proud of
you
it.
fucking nailed it, bro. And
But I was gonna, because obviously you were around for the Mattingly era.
Mhm.
That was a little early for me.
Yeah,
But from what I guessed, even though he was so unfortunate that the only time that he had a real team that could do something was in the lockout year.
yeah.
Um, but
And you know how many people I
he
know
led from
still
the
have not
front,
come
didn't
back
he?
to.
He led from the front, didn't he, Tats? He led from the front.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, believe me, there are still people I know that have not turned on a baseball game since that lockout, since that
Right.
strike. And they said it's. That's why I also put in the comments. I think that everybody gets a trophy errors in Major League Sports because nobody's accountable for anything. They're still getting these massive paychecks.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what I do in the playoffs as long as I play well enough in the regular season to get that to get that next contract.
Right.
And it's believe me, it's on my just a little hint. That's on my list of topics for an upcoming After Dark show. So it's just so frustrating because when you look in contrast and you hit it earlier, you looked at Judge's bases loaded at bat. He hasn't really swung at a pitch that bad in a while. He's been very disciplined,
Right.
right?
Why did he do it in the
And that
post?
says to me the moment got to him,
Hmm?
and he buckled under the pressure. And you look at Vlad's, bases loaded at bat today.
Boom.
He was motivated to elevate his team. That's the comparison between the two.
Right. And then you look at the other sports. There's numerous players that grab their teams by the scruff of the neck and leads them. And obviously, we're seeing it in with Springer, and we're seeing it with Guerrero. We're seeing it with those guys. The Yankees, they just don't have that. They just don't
Yeah.
have someone to grab them by the scruff of the neck, going, "Not today, not today."
Like I wanted these two games to at least be competitive,
Football
and
scores.
I, I mean that's in baseball. I don't care if it's game 162, or game 7 of a World Series. That should never happen.
No, it's never. Also, by the way, it's never happened in
That's
Yankee
never
history.
happened. I saw
It's
that. I saw
literally
that
never
graphic.
happened in Yankee history.
I got home from. I'm sitting at work, and because it was on Fox, which oh my god, what a terrible fucking broadcast.
Terrible.
You would have thought it was Ben Verlander calling a Dodgers game.
Right.
Who's another fucking problem.
I actually thought it was the Blue Jays announcers. It was
Yeah.
that bias. I thought it was the Blue Jays announcers.
And you're Savage, just like what we just had with Schlittler. I mean, the kid was ready. He
Yeah.
did his homework. I mean, I never saw so many off balance at bats. I don't think this year. I think that was their worst approach at the plate this whole season. And this is not the
Right.
time of year to have that type of game. They had no answer for him. None.
You're fucking right, man. He made the Savages in the box look like fucking
Oh my god.
bunch of babies. The thing with the Yankees though is it's been a common thing all year. They really hate handling splitters and sliders. They can't.
They can't hit it.
They can't hit them. They can't massacre.
It's almost like in a league of their own with Dottie.
Right.
High fastballs can't hit them, can't lay off them.
So it's a great comparison. That's
That's
what the Yankees are.
That is the entire approach to the Yankees. Just throw the splitter. Can't hit them, can't lay off them.
Right, and fucking Judge, Mr. MVP.
You know it's coming. And I think, and that's what made Mariano so great. We all know that. I mean, one
Right.
pitch, and they knew it was coming, and they couldn't hit it. So this isn't something that we've never seen in the history of the game before. Mariano was different, right?
Yeah,
It was, the way he did it, the amount of years he was able to do it, again, the consistency in it. No matter if it was game 162, or game 7, he was who he was. But we're seeing a lot of these pitchers, they're, and he wasn't gassing the ball past them like Schlittler was. This
Right.
was a finesse pitcher where if they would have just had an ounce of plate discipline, this whole game is a different story. Even with the struggles from Fried.
I think they gave up, bro.
If the Yankees were able to put the bat on the fucking ball, maybe it takes a little bit of the pressure off of Fried. Now,
I think the Yankees gave up after the second inning. I think they gave up after the second inning.
When it went to 5-0, I thought that was it.
Yeah, I think once they were like 5-6
And
down,
I watched the game like an idiot, thinking that because Bellinger hits the home run. I'm like, all right, and I even tweeted out, I'm like, I can't even get excited about it.
No,
like how sad is that? A postseason
I mean,
home run,
I turned it off,
eh.
so I didn't. I turned it off, so I only watched the highlights quickly of the Yankees scoring a couple of runs. But you know what that is? That's just flat track bullying, because they couldn't hit when they needed to hit. and what, they got a couple of runs, meaningless runs, down 13-2 against their middle relief. That says nothing to me. They didn't hit their high leverage starter. They didn't hit their best. They didn't hit their starter. Couldn't hit Yes Savage. Couldn't hit him.
Nope.
And that's the story of the Yankees. They're flat track bullies. That's what they are. They're flat track bullies. That's why I can't get excited that they scored some runs down 13-2 because it says nothing to me. That's who this Yankee team is. Yeah, against some shitty middle relievers. Yeah, they'll bomb. Yeah,
Yep.
they'll score 3, 4, 5, 6 runs. No problem. That's why they went and won 94 games, because more often than not, over a game of over 162 games, more likely than not, you're going to face some pretty mediocre pitching, and you're going to beat the fuck out of them. And the Yankees are great at that. They are fantastic at that. They're probably the best in baseball at it. But when it comes to facing good teams with discipline and with guys that have a plan to get you out, they look like fucking idiots. That's what they do. They look like a bunch of babies, a bunch of bitches. That's what the Yankees are. And that's why I can't get behind this thing, because sure, they're going to beat up on Shim's shitty middle reliever or some fourth or fifth starter. Good for them.
Yeah.
But against the best, they can't do shit. They cannot do shit. They couldn't do shit in the regular season. How many times did they beat a good team before October, before September? They had a losing record against good teams. They don't face good teams very well.
The division record alone tells you exactly where this postseason was going to stand. It really was.
Exactly.
I think we got lucky with Boston. Game 3, Boston lost that game with their defense.
Absolutely.
Because we even, as much as we gave credit to Schlittler, we gave Early just as much credit, because they weren't doing much against him anyway. It just, they were able to put the bat on the ball. Jeez, they should try that sometime.
That's a concept.
It's that's why I was like, the bat boy had more contact with the bat than the ball did today.
Right.
And
That's funny.
that's not acceptable. I mean,
they did
some of them I was
nothing.
just throwing in
They
there
did
just to try
nothing
to
in
get you to
game
laugh.
one. They did nothing in game one. The entirety of game one, they did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they were a no show for 2 days.
Right.
And now, do I think we're going to win game 1 in the Bronx? I do. I think they're going to be able to take the momentum from the end of that game. All right, if we adjust our approach to their pitching, we just saw we can score against them. But I think 3 games against that team, their defense is insanely tight.
Yes.
And what is the one thing their manager told them to abandon this year? The home run swing.
Wow.
He says, look, just put the bat on the ball. Just put the ball in play and take it. Stop swinging for the fences, because it's not doing us any good. And that was their approach the whole year. If it goes out, like we always said with Judge's swing, if it goes out, it goes out. He doesn't have to hit it that hard. And their entire team just took we'll take a double, we'll take a single, we'll pass the baton.
Absolutely.
That
They
was
have a
their
very
mentality
deep,
this
I
year.
love their lineup. It's incredibly deep lineup.
And they don't have Bichette.
That's crazy.
And
That they
Bichette
put up a
kills
football
our
score twice.
it doesn't matter who it is. Bichette kills
Right.
our pitching.
Right.
And
So they're doing this
should be
without
that
Bichette,
should be
which
an
is
advantage
terrifying.
for us, and it's been a disadvantage.
They're doing this without Bichette. That's terrifying. They've scored 3 runs or something like that in 2 games without Bichette. That doesn't happen in the postseason. If it happened once, you go, it happens. But to happen back-to-back games in the postseason, that doesn't happen. That only happens to really, really bad fucking teams that don't deserve to win.
Like yesterday, they got to heel. It wasn't his game. He was.
Yeah.
You could just see the rust. That's why I would have preferred him on the roster in the wild card. Even if they just used him rather than having a bullpen session, put him in for an inning. And just to keep him involved in the game. It's clear that and I like it. I think there's still a high ceiling for Heel as a
I
rotation
agree.
guy.
I agree. I'm not giving up on
Yeah,
him.
I'm not going to get on it for yesterday. I just want he was injured. He didn't have a full season under his belt.
Right.
Yeah, and he was put into a really tough situation.
His command's there, but there's no other
He's
argument.
he's
Who else
not
are you
he,
gonna?
he's not a veteran enough.
And who
He-
else are you gonna fucking play? You gonna play fucking Warren? He gave up 6 earned runs in 4 innings. He was giving up.
not one.
He was gonna batting practice. Who else are you gonna fucking play in that spot?
I would have just I would have reset the rotation. I would have gone with Fried game one. I know that his numbers aren't the best in on short rest, but this is the postseason. You gotta put your ace out there.
Okay,
That's why he makes the money.
that's an
I
interesting,
I I
interesting
would
take
have rather
there.
rid I'd rather ride and die with my A's game one than put Heel in a very very tough situation.
Well, you can't really argue with the results because obviously it went terribly. So you can certainly make that argument. But Max Fried did not look good tonight on full rest. So is he going to look any better on short rest?
That- Well, exactly. Well, that's part of it. And I had the same sentiment yesterday. Yeah, I didn't like that they were throwing Heel into the mix. I would have rather gone with Fried.
I mean, I
Like,
didn't really
I mean,
hate the heel
right
thing.
now it's just hindsight. Is Monday.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. That's
it's Sunday
hindsight
night quarterbacking right now.
because if Fried put up the same stat line yesterday,
Then we'd be
as he
screaming,
did
"You should have
today,
let. Why'd you put him on short rest?" It's a no-win
yes,
situation for the
it's a no-win
fans. For a
situation.
fan's perspective,
Yeah,
it's no-win.
there's other things I can get at Boone for. That meh, not sure about. I do think he fucked about with the lineup too much. I didn't really like Ben Rice cleaning up or batting third or whatever. I don't really like him that high in the order. Quite liked him where he was. I liked him batting second.
I liked him in the middle, like 6, 7, maybe.
Yeah, I liked him there too. I didn't quite like him breaking up, moving Stanton down lower. Didn't quite like that. I think,
I didn't like Stanton batting fifth. You saw it. It threw his whole game off.
yeah, I don't like it either. I think he fucked about with the lineup too much.
Yeah, he got
Um,
too cute.
yeah, but again,
Well,
I think
Pittsburgh got too cute when he
it's
handed.
not necessarily the moves that he's made, apart from game one where he did everything wrong. But in this series, it's not necessarily the moves he's made. It's just the mentality. I hate the mentality. They just gave up. They gave up
Very
yesterday. They
lackluster.
gave up. They gave up a couple of innings in. They gave up. They were not interested.
No,
And this game, they gave up again.
no,
They
they
only
didn't. They
scored
didn't really start trying again until they took let's Savage
Yes,
out.
Savage off. Once they took Yes Savage off, then the Yankees
Then
started
they're
hitting.
like, okay, now we can play baseball.
Yeah.
Like, where were you for 5 fucking innings?
That's why
Where
I'm
was the
not giving them
adjustment then?
credit for it. That's why I'm not giving them credit for it. I think it's kind
Yeah.
of meaningless, to be honest. If
No,
they did it against some good pitching,
they
then
choked the whole series away.
they
And it
have.
all starts. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say, and I'm not saying I want him gone and all that. The blame starts with Judge.
Yeah, he's a captain.
That was his
He,
point. Not even just the captaincy. I don't care if he was the captain or not.
right.
You're the veteran of this team. You're the elder of the whole roster.
Right.
You are supposed. It's almost like I'm the oldest of four, right? All I heard growing up was you're the oldest. You have to set the example, and he hasn't done that. It was that strikeout with the bases loaded. Just the whole team's like, oh, he can't do it. We can't do it, and
Yeah,
that's where it lies.
I agree. I Hold My Beard doesn't agree that they gave up. He says they just got outplayed. The better team will always win. Um, but then you look at the score, and that says to me a lot more than just being outplayed. The score is ridiculous. That doesn't happen in the postseason. It's never happened in Yankee history. They give up back-to-back blowouts in the postseason. It never happened. So that's why
Where was the Freed that went up against fucking Crochet?
you know what I mean. He just didn't have it. I'm not going to blame him for it.
No, I'm not killing Freed. I mean, I wish look, Freed. We gave you the organization gave you the respect of giving you your full rest. You had an extra day. Now, so you're not pitching game one. You had an extra day to do your homework. He didn't do it.
Right. Exactly. No, I agree, and I
I'm
hope
not
my
going to
beer's
pat.
falling
I
here.
can't pat this team on the back being well, you gave it your best shot. No,
No, I
sorry,
hate
I
that.
can't.
I'm sick of it. They did that last year. You
Yeah,
can't keep doing it
no
every year.
more.
You can't keep saying, "Oh, you give it your best shot." When you lose, and you got to make a change. Teams make changes. It happens.
No, if I'm, tell me if I'm lying. You in the chat too. How many times? When did I started saying in September? I don't care about your feelings. I want to win.
Right.
I don't care if oh you're upset you didn't sit, you didn't play. Fuck you. When next time you get back into the lineup, prove yourself.
Prove yourself. Not enough of them have done it, but I do think that the Yankees have. I do think that this series they haven't come in focused. So I do think it's a little bit deeper than just being outplayed. They haven't had any focus. They looked unfocused game one. They looked unmotivated, um, and you could have called it after 2 innings what was going to happen yesterday. And that should never ever happen in the postseason, ever, ever. And again today, they gave up on Savage. They didn't know what to do with him. They couldn't hit him. It was only once they took him out, and then they started beating up on the middle relief that they decided to be in the game. But they were down 13-2 at that point. So there was no pressure on them. But when the pressure's on them, they collapse, and that starts with Aaron Judge. And real leaders lead from the front. Real leaders do not need your 8 other guys to pull you out. That's not a real leader. Yeah, he's a leader in the regular season. Good for him. But when the chips are down in the postseason, he does not show up. And there needs to be a conversation about that. There needs to be a real conversation about that. It doesn't diminish what he does in the regular season, but it dampens it for sure. Because there needs to be a conversation about it now. It's too long. There's too big a sample size. He has a 200 batting average, Mendoza line batting average, with runners in scoring position in his career in the postseason. That's not a small sample size now. That is a pretty large sample size. He is not showing up when the chips are down. He should never, ever have been given the captaincy. It was
It's like
purely it was purely to try and win some fans over on Hal Steinbrenner. That's why he did it. That's why Hal Steinbrenner did it, because he was getting his ass booed out every single time he was at Yankee Stadium events. So he was like, "Oh well, here's something that'll make the Yankee fans cheer. Everyone loves Aaron Judge. Let's make him the captain." I think it was a ceremonial move that
yeah,
was a slap in the face to the Yankee standards of winning championships. And by the way, all of this is a slap in the face to the Yankee standards of winning championships.
yeah.
This should never ever happen. These 2 games should never ever happen.
No, but, I'm sure we're going to be diving into this a lot more tomorrow. But
Absolutely.
like you get like I can't erase that fucking 3-2 count. I
How
can't get it out
that's
of my
great.
head. You saw on the release. I'm like Stevie Wonder could see that pitch was down and away.
Right.
And it was like they were like, look, we he's battling. He's actually taking the at bat seriously. If we walk in a run, I'd rather walk in a run than him connect with one.
Amen.
But let's just see if he'll either it, let's see if he'll foul it or fight it off or just throw the pitch that he's so acceptable to swing at in his history and hope for the best.
Well,
If we
Judge
walk in a
expands
run,
the
it's better
zone.
than giving up the grand slam.
We've seen it before, though, dude. Judge expands the zone
We've gone.
in under
I
pressure.
know. We talked about it.
He expands his zone under pressure. He is
Yeah.
not a good player under pressure. He just isn't.
No, I think they showed the stat yesterday on the TV that he's got 18 of his home runs this year off rookie pitching. that don't know any better yet.
Right. I mean, I will give the Blue Jays a ton of credit though. Their manager is so much better than Aaron Boone. It's not even funny.
And
But
that's a manager on the hot seat because he's never won a playoff series.
that's
His job's
insane
on the
because
line.
he's so much better than Aaron Boone. It's not even funny. But um, he had a plan to pitch around Aaron Judge. What was the
Hmm.
Yankees' plan to pitch to Vladimir Guerrero? What was their plan? See, that's
There
where
was
Aaron
none.
Boone always falls apart as a manager to
Yeah.
me. Whenever he faces Otani, what does he do? He throws him fucking beanballs down the middle. What did he do against fucking Devers? Oh, Devers broke a record for like home runs against the Yankees all the time. Because what did they keep doing? Throwing him fucking beanballs. I mean, all the Yankees do against these sluggers, they just fucking pitch them and they get their asses blown off. Vladimir Guerrero, here's a home run. Oh, here's another one. Do you want a grand slam, Vlad? Here's another one. But the other managers, they pitch around Aaron Judge because they're smart. Aaron Boone is not smart. Look at his ball
It's
on
like
your.
we had fun during the regular season, calling the managers and the pitchers cowards for intentionally walking them. No, it's like, why am I going to let him beat me? You know,
Exactly.
why can't the Yankees
Don't
take
let
the same
you,
fucking approach?
exactly. Don't let their best beat you. What did they
Yeah.
do with Bregman against the Red Sox? That cost them again. Lucky that it didn't cost them the series.
Oh,
When
the
they
fucking.
had an open base and they still pitched to Bregman.
I
Bregman
mean,
always kills the Yankees. That's what I'm saying.
you
Aaron Boone
almost saw
is
the
not a
look on
good
Cora's
manager.
face. He was like, "Fuck, we left first base open. Why'd we have to hit the double?" you know.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying though. Aaron Boone is not a good manager because he doesn't have a plan when he faces these good teams, these good hitters. What did he do against frickin' Freeman?
Oh,
Huh?
meanwhile, Polanco, I just got a notification. Jorge Polanco, if anybody remembers who he is, just had his second home run.
Crazy. But I mean, this is who they are, man. They pitch to the team's best hitters and they get found out. While other teams are like, fucking walk Judge, pitch around him, throw pitches in the dirt. Aaron Judge under pressure will expand his zone. That's what he's doing.
So, before I head out, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna hold my. I gotta get go. I'll text you so you have time.
Okay.
I'll save it from the audience, but I'm
All
gonna have
right.
a question for you and Rob tomorrow.
Sounds good, man.
Um, and they're just gonna have to tune in to see what the question is. Cliffhanger.
Sounds good. Remember to check out Uncle Tad's, Rob, and myself tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you so much for hopping on, Uncle T. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow, man. Much love.
All right, love you, bro.
Love you, brother. Take care. Um, bless up to my man, Uncle Tats. He is the man. Everybody say hello and goodbye in the chat to Uncle T. He absolutely is the man and the leader of our channel. To go back to my point here, and I'll say it again, the Yankees do not have a plan when they face good hitters. They always get found out. And look what other managers do with Aaron Judge. They pitch around him, pitches in the dirt. Aaron Judge expands his zone under pressure. That is the difference. That's why I want a new manager that has a plan, that has a strategy. I want a manager that has a strategy. Yeah, the analytics can work over 162 games. Even Mike Fishman's stupid analytics can work over 162 games because 70% of the teams suck in the majors, right? And the Yankees can beat up on them. But when the Yankees face the good teams, they get outsmarted, they get outclassed, they get outworked, they get outprepared. That's what other teams do, and that's what the Blue Jays are doing right now. That's what the Dodgers did. That's why the Yankees had such an awful record against playoff teams this year. That's why they had an awful record in the American League East this year. That's why they lost the division, and that's why they're going to lose this series. Had the Yankees won the division and had the majority of the games at Yankee Stadium, you'd probably be looking at a different story in this series. Possibly. It certainly wouldn't be back-to-back blowouts, that's for sure. That's why the regular season counts. That's why you can't take the summer off. That's why you can't just go, you know what? I'm going to go on holiday between June and all of August. I'll show up in September. That's not winning baseball. Yeah, they went on a nice run, but what did that nice run get them? Getting fucking blown out back to back games. But the big difference is in the postseason, the stakes are higher. Every decision matters. Every decision is looked at in a microscope. And that kind of shit is a nightmare for Aaron Boone. That's why he has a below 500 record as a manager in the postseason. Because he tends to get found out. He doesn't have a strategy. He does not have a strategy. How am I going to get out Otani? How am I going to get out Devers? How am I going to get out Vlad? How am I going to get out Springer? How am I going to get out Bregman? He doesn't have a plan. Doesn't have a plan. And that's been the common story with Aaron Boone since 2018. It's been the constant story with Aaron Boone since 2018. That's why I want to change a manager. That's why there needs to be some changes, because in the postseason, these decisions matter. You can't just decide how you're going to manage it 24 hours in advance. You need to read the game. Freddie Freeman beat the piss out of the Yankees. Beat the living piss out of the Yankees. What was Aaron Boone's strategy with Freeman? Oh, I'll have Nasty Nestor pitch to him. Fuck out of here. Cora and Franconi are way better managers. You can add the Dodgers manager, way better manager. There's a ton of better managers, but apparently there's a feeding frenzy for Aaron Boone. Do not ever buy what the Yankees sell, because they are just used car salesmen. That's what they are. That's what the Yankee leadership is, a bunch of used car salesmen. They will sell you a broken down Ford telling you it's a BMW, telling you it's a fucking Mercedes. And you're getting a broken down fucking Ford with 3 wheels. That's what the Yankees are. Yeah, that's right. Le Savage made the Yankees go from savages in the box to averages in the box. There you go. Good job, Stevie B. Enough is enough. I will guarantee you guys the Yankees will never win a World Series with Aaron Boone as manager. It's a safe bet. It's an absolute safe bet. Something needs to change. It's a good team. It's a good team, and they're getting blown out back-to-back games. That never happens. It's never happened in Yankee history. The Yankees have made history again for all the wrong reasons. And this is going to be the longest streak in franchise history without a world championship. And it's going to continue until they wise up. I'm not going to waste any more energy on this Yankee team until Aaron Boone is fired. Something has to change. It's the one constant common denominator, Aaron Boone. They've tried a new hitting coach. They've tried a new pitching coach. They've tried a new bench coach. They've tried a new third base coach. They've tried every new coach. They've had a whole new roster. They gave Aaron Boone a whole new bullpen. Gave Aaron Boone multiple players after the deadlines. And they're still getting embarrassed. The common denominator is Aaron Boone. But I will say, much of these guys are a bunch of spineless bums. They really are. What an embarrassment. Embarrassed the Yankee brand again. Embarrassed the Yankee franchise. Monument Park are rolling over in their graves right now as we speak. George Steinbrenner is spinning so fucking hard. He's 36 feet underground and still spinning. Our fucking the people who have passed on the Yankees to us, our fathers, our grandfathers, our grandmothers, whoever have passed the Yankees on to us, the Yankees are letting them down too. It's a shame, man. It's sad. It's sad. Really. We deserve better. This fan base deserves better. The city deserves better. The dynasty guys deserve better. The Lou Gehrig's and the Manels deserve better in their graves. George Steinbrenner deserves better. They all deserve better. And whether the Yankees lose the day after tomorrow or the day after that, doesn't matter. They have failed again. Time for change. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the sub button if you're watching after the fact. I appreciate everyone that stepped on and watched us. Very good stream. Really good conversation. Shout out to Uncle Tats. You will see us tomorrow. Thank you again, guys. Much love. Fuck the Yankees. And one thing's for sure. This podcast is going to keep going. And we will have plenty of conversations until things change. Thank you, Stevie B. Whatever we need to join voices. Our voices need to be heard. The voices like NYYU, the voices like you guys in the chat, the voices like us on the Pinstripe Chronicles and Yankified. Our voices need to be heard, loud and clear. Time for change.